prize pick Slardar, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can get away with cheesy stuff if needed because you have the overall last pick. Let's see. So business, what do they need? They can pick like a centaur or something to if Phoenix ever throws out an egg, they're able to like run away from it. Trying to think of the Braxton throw.
Centaur
Beastmaster,
does
but
have a good disengage.
Beast doesn't really feel too good. DP.
DP. Oh, we already have the DK, so one of these two are going off lane, it looks like.
It's open. It is
it's
definitely
true.
open in terms of DP can play 1, 2, 3. DK can play 1 and 2. But I think DK wants to be matched up against the Ember unless he has a purpose in the safe lane against whatever off lane that Mojo decides to pick.
I'm trying to remember if... I don't think we've seen, like... Oh, they can't. I mean, yeah, that's tough for Quincy, because now they pulled out the Lich. You can't try to show this Ember as much of a flex, right? Can they still make this Ember a 4, have the Lich 5, and go off lane Phoenix?
Quinn,
right?
No,
They've
Quinn
blocked
is
themselves.
He's 100% playing that Ember.
Yeah,
this is a team where they have he's a specialty on him. And when you have a hero that's a player that's a specialty and a hero, you usually don't want to change it too much. Unless you have another specialty player that can play it too. But in this case, I don't think they do. Legion or Beast should be picked up here, and there it is, actually.
So,
they like the pairing of like a BKB piercing hero and a melee hero that can like kind of protect the egg at the same time and kind of frontline, and helps a lot with in the laning stage as well. And the boars and the fire spirits have a little bit of synergy as well for the extra amount of minus attack speed.
Yeah, he can definitely be a nuisance in the laning phase and could make business associates think a bit harder on what they want to end up safe laning to go against it. Morphling ban, which has been a Yawar tried and true in his shallow hero pool, I'd say. He can play a lot of heroes, but when the meta rolls around, it feels like he's got like 4 or 5. It feels that he just really holds super dear and close. Certainly, Gyrocopter has been the hero for him most of this event, that being banned out almost all of these games. And now in a position where Morphling's been taken off the table. You already mentioned Wraith King as a possibility. We've also seen his PL. We saw his Naga earlier. Do the illusion-based cores have a better place here or not? Because you have Crystal Maiden, for example, who can kind of blast them all down.
I mean, CM is the only one that can really deal with it. I was gonna say like Naga, but like Naga's pretty nice too.
Mm-hmm. And they have that last pick, but I don't know if that one last pick would be enough to, have be the end-all, be-all, if you will. But Quincy.
They did ban Bristle back. Why did they ban Bristle? So they don't. Maybe they don't want an illusion hero.
5 seconds remaining.
I mean, Wraith King. I mean, Bristle is kind of good versus Bristle in the laning. Or Bristle is good versus Wraith King. Sorry.
Or Necro. Isn't Bristle okay? No, I'm sorry. I have the backwards. Necros owns Bristle, so they wouldn't need to ban that.
Morphling.
No, they just banned Morphling on business side.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's
like PL and Naga and Ursa was the other one that Yawar has played. And unless they can guarantee it's like DK safe lane, it might be weird.
Sniper. Something entirely different here.
So Yawar safe lane farming sniper? Or
I think okay, so I guess Yawar can play the Ember. It's because they know business has open picks with the DK and DP, and they kind of want to see. So this is one of those situations where we kind of mentioned before that no one's gonna really pick their hero until the very end to see what they're capable of doing, because like Sniper and Ember, like they're both interchangeable. Same with DK and DP.
You're flexing all of the cores right here. I wouldn't be. What if they could pick something here that's just a lane winner against the Sniper? Nothing really coming.
You can only pick something for like
Storm.
So even the third hero, which
so DK might be safe lane then, and they do off lane Death Prophet.
Right, Quinn just immediately picked the Sniper.
Yeah, so he's definitely mid lane Sniper. 9 is picked. They got the Storm Spirit to match up against who they anticipate being the Sniper. But what is Brax playing?
They're thinking.
Okay, it's Brax going to be on the DK. Moo is going to take a safe lane Death Prophet. So Death Prophet versus a Beastmaster lane is interesting.
They wanted the DK versus Ember matchup no matter like what happens because they know DK is gonna free farm the lane. I mean
Oh, yeah.
Ember farms too, but he doesn't free farm in comparison. And as you saw, like the moment Quinn picked his hero, then Nine responded with the storm pick. So that's the part where you're just like mind gaming people. Maybe Quincy could have just waited a little bit till the last 5 seconds and picked their hero, and then you just kind of gamble it from there.
I'm going to put it out there again that the Mighty Frogs should consider not showing players assignments until the game has started. This creates an extra layer of strategy and a bit more intensity. I know as a spectator that seems pretty hype. I don't know if you would agree or think the players would agree with that, but I feel like it could add a bit more, strategy. You need that layer. It becomes like everyone's playing with the max clock of the strategy time just to try to pull a fast one.
Oh yeah, for sure. I would agree. It just spices things up and it makes it more interesting. It just shows more versatility in your drafting. That if you're able to draft a lineup that has so many open picks from support and cores, that you're more favored in the draft. Unless you're doing the same thing every game.
Yeah.
But if you're able to interchange like throughout multiple games, and yeah, it's very beneficial.
Could see teams get too far into their own heads and end up trying to pull out quick roll swaps when it was not necessary in the first place. Would definitely be a bit of an entertaining time. Let's go ahead and get into it. Game number 3, Business Associates versus the Quincy crew, formerly known as Chaos, but still repping the name on their tag, making it as confusing as possible for us. We'll see how things pan out in this one. Winner to move on into the next round. Loser has Thunder Predator waiting for them in the lower bracket.
I'll be honest. I think I kind of favor Business's draft. Unbiased here. They're my friends and I coach them and all. But I kind of like their draft because they picked the Storm as an answer for the sniper. They needed a hero that can jump on top of it. Unless they ran like some Spectre or something, which doesn't really feel good into a Phoenix either.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they just
they're going to get the lane matchup they were hoping for, or at least you were saying that should be better for them. I'm curious to see if Quincy want to try to play musical chairs at all with the laning phase or not, or if they'll just accept that Yawar is going to get mediocre farm, but the DK is really going to do as he pleases in the lane.
Yeah, bottom. I think they feel good in all the lanes. I don't know about mid too much. I think it favors the sniper, just because of just his ability to dodge every remnant and maybe hits from the storm for his overload. But having double range against like a Beastmaster and a Phoenix, who's generally known to not be the strongest laner unless he's against some melee and he's able to hit the fire spirits. It's a lot harder to hit it with range targets. And CM is like pretty good versus Beast overall for the laning because he's able to like nuke down his boar.
Strong block to start here for 9 to at least get it up to his high ground, but typical sniper fashion can still snipe down the CS from afar.
Got the range, the 9, the important one.
Yeah, gonna be a bit before we see kill potential in that lane would take a serious misstep. Oh, MSS. Too many right clicks coming through, and he's not able to backpedal fast enough. He goes down. That was just a good opportunity for Business to take advantage of the fact that Biver is going for the pull. I mean, he gets to come back in the creep waves under his tower, so recovering won't be too bad, but does hand over that bit of golden XP to the bottom lane.
And Business was definitely really prepared for like this top lane. Both of them starting off with a stick already, having 7 stick charges was really fat for both of them. And top lane here, SVG is dead.
Yeah, he went to go for the courier, got caught up with killing the courier, and now is out of position. They get a good
lost
jump.
The headdress in return. Didn't get to pick it
up. Storm is winning this mid lane, 10-5, 10-5 to 4-1 sniper. 9 having a hell of a day in the mid lane already. I mean, I'm kind of early, but just a really strong head start for him.
Yeah, I mean, I think HC went for shrapnel early too. Had to get the take aim.
Doesn't feel like he needs the extra bit of range to do it. Oh, top lane. We got potential trouble here. Yawar with the ice shield puts chase on for Moose, but Moose has got the cookie. He drops down the sentry and then drops his body to the ground as he falls to the power of Yawar.
Barely misses the D ward too.
Oh, I see. Oh yeah, it's just a wait. Where is the ward?
It's because he knew that he's sentry there because there's no person that just really runs around to snipe a courier unless there's some sort of vision around, right?
Yeah.
So he kind of predicted that, but just good placement from the observer from SVG there.
And as you mentioned, Moo's not able to quite catch where it's at. We'll still be able to go for the pull, but something that is going to be under the watchful eye of Quincy at this time. Brack's still hanging in there, 14-1 CS on his DK. Obviously able to kind of hold his own and farm up from there. Do you play this off lane DK in a similar sense to your mid? Is that you're kind of in it for the long haul in this top lane and you're not looking to divert until that tier 1 falls?
You're able to kind of sustain, and you know that you won't die in the lane unless Quincy over bottom lane here.
Whoop.
Another kill.
Soul Siphon, right clicks. Crypt Swarm, not quite enough. MSS pops the salve and an extra boar. And we'll be able to fight on. But very listen, thank you, Demon. That's how we do. Quinn in trouble. Chase on from 9. Needs another right click. Gets it. Right by the tree. 9 now taken over in this mid lane.
That was pretty nice. There's a lot of engagements all around. Kills.
Thanks for having my back on the catching these side lanes. See, it's not an easy job here as Yawar gets jumped on from the cookie. Ice Shield will come out, and more mana to be spent here from the side of Quincy as they continue to defend the pressure. But, man, Business Associates really laying it on thick in the early game here, you know, going real strong on bottom, taking it to MSS. Still even now, Moo fighting damn near under the tower. Crystal Maiden not quite close enough yet to help. Now is there. Pops the Ice Nova. But he's got to be careful. Eats the Fairy Fire. Really slow. The axes. Oh, my God. They need a little bit more. Another Fairy Fire. Moo. Nice. Juking within the trees. Brax kills SVG in the meantime, and they actually can't get the finish on to Moo. He makes it out from that one.
A double Fairy Fire right there.
I know. Pulled out everything for that one to survive. But it was calculated, if you want to say. And yeah, at that same moment, or during that time, SVG goes down. Oh my God, what is going on? Quinn gets one back his way, taking out 9.
I was watching the whole time, and he just stood on top of the shrapnel and just melted.
Okay, just not expecting him to park it so long. I'm here at bottom where they're making an approach onto MSS. Fear does not want to eat too much damage from the axes and the approach from Ivor, who took a moment to go for the pull.
So Storm right now is 2 creeps or 1 creep away from getting a 6. The moment he can get 6, he's gonna jump with the Snapfire.
Yep, Snapfire's there already. Immediate rotation, and it's enough for them to second guess their commitment.
That was kind of a play to poke and kind of see what happens. Now it's securing the 6-minute rune and potentially setting up for this play again. But the ward did spot out this time.
They go for it again mid lane. They do jump in. Fiver's still around, dishes out the spirits, and Quinn's gonna be fine. Oh, he dishes out the ult. Boom, gets it done.
Boom, headshot.
I say boom, not you. Good job for Quinn. And yeah, I know Snapfire is able to confidently strut herself around, leaving Brax to the top lane.
He's free though. Brax is no real strong threat of dying. He should pick up a raindrop though. And I see that sentry was value after all. He did get a D ward. The new wobs that he just placed.
Nice. He also still sits on 20 charges. That man should not be dying anytime soon.
There it is. They're diving mid again.
Okay.
3 people.
Yep. 9 just looking to use this ult as much as he can early on, and they get the follow-up jump on the sniper and finish him off. Yawar rotates out from the top lane, looking to take it to his spirit brother. Should be successful. One more right click. Fear stops, and 9's able to bottle up, and he will survive. And he gets the pull onto Yawar. Oh, but he's eating lots of damage from Biver. Biver has strolled on through and torched him down, and look at this. Torching them both up. Yawar comes in with some extra firepower. Pun intended on that. They take down a little Snapfire, and Fear will walk away to tell the tale.
That was kind of maybe miscommunication a little bit. If they just focused the same target there, I think the Ember would have died instead of like kind of focusing like the Lich. Lich had like no more mana, so he was like pretty worthless aside from his right clicks, right? And I think a priority kill on their carry would have been nice.
Back at mid lane,
here.
yeah, Biver was still hanging around from that previous skirmish, so 9 says, don't mind if I do. TP's in and jumps and gets the easy kill.
And Moo kind of understood, like, hey, like, you guys are making a lot of space. I can't just sit here bottom. I'm going to make a rotation in this top lane. And Brax actually just ends up getting a free tower.
That's what you do as a DK, and he's now top of net worth, I believe, in addition to CS. Oh, no, just a bit shy on the CS to MSS, who's really crawled his way back to that bottom lane. But
this is such a good play. So they're over-rotated on bottom lane, and they kind of identified, like, hey, we use too many TPs bottom. And Business kind of identified that, and they're using DK form to pressure this mid tower as well.
They're running back, but I think the Business will know their approach from the Southern River. Fear kind of puts himself between the lanes and does get picked off, but provides a bit of information to the rest of the Business team that they are coming. And Moo continues to farm out top. He still even has that exorcism, so I'm curious if they want to bring him to the mid lane to get the finish on this tier 1 tower, or if they have other plans for it, maybe in hopes that he gets left alone this top lane to get the most out of that ult.
Double damage empowers me.
I heard DK use a stun here. Oh. Yeah, despite Mojo actually dying first blood as well, he's actually caught up really well. He's top 1 in CS and almost top 1 in net worth as well. DK is actually top 1 in net worth right now. He's rushing for a pipe.
Yeah, the offlaners are really the big breadwinners in this one. As Mojo's got eyes for the Necro book right away.
Yeah, he has book 1 finished already. That's coming into him. He's going to look into rotating towards mid and surrounding the tower. Getting a fast kill.
I mean, both these teams have good moments right now of peaking a fire and of peaking to take a fight and to take pushes. When you consider Moo's exorcism on one side, and now the Dragon Form is going to be back up by Brax. You know, both these teams can take good fights and then certainly follow it up with objectives. And they're hanging around between this mid and top lane. 9 continues to farm up a bit, but not going to be easy to jump through this mid lane. It looks like a full rotation from Quincy. And there they come, like you said, MSS rotating up to this mid lane.
Here comes a smoke around for Business. They're wrapping around towards mid lane here. It's going to be a 5v5 fight here. Phoenix is not 6 yet, but his tome is coming.
I don't know if it'll be here in time. When the fight does break down, Quincy backpedal a bit, which is the right call to make if they head south, because, as you mentioned, Business are moving in from the north and from the top lane. War's courier does go down. And Moo already heads back to the top lane. I guess he feels if most have congregated to the mid lane, he can get back to work up here.
I think Quincy is getting a little bit more net worth out of this because Beast is able to farm their jungle, farm their ancients, and this like bottom lane. In return, it's like Business. They're just running around. They're not hitting the enemy neutrals at all. They are going to try to pressure with the siege on top. Exorcism is up now.
Been up, but okay. Waiting for the call to action. 9 just spotting out cute little Lich. And him and Snapfire will finish him off. No exorcism committed yet. Doesn't want to go all in on this tower. Yawar shows up now to fend off 9. But, you know, all the meanwhile, Mojo still, you know,
he should
pushing his way through bottom.
Towards bottom. He's like fortunate enough he does have a siege as well, so he's able to pressure.
We'll spot Brax on the way. Send all the critters after him.
He might die here on Brax actually.
Yawar's coming.
Oh, no.
They chain, but then they decide not to go. The long jump from 9 gets the catch onto Yawar. MSS already a good distance away as Yawar remnants out.
We're seeing a lot of reaction here on the Business side.
Mm-hmm.
I think they kind of jumped the gun there and overreacted just a little bit because DK was not in any real threat unless he got like chased down to half HP, but he was still like 80% HP. And they got a TP out of it and they lost like their control in this top area. And because of that, Quincy's able to reclaim that area again.
Yeah, SUG there on the outpost and then can assist in getting an additional ward down, which he does right there. and
That's
push
the
back the
strong
top
part.
lane. They own
That's the
both
strong-
jungles at the moment.
Yeah, that's the thing about like both teams. When you usually have a spirit hero, you're able to poke, and when you're able to poke, like people like usually react, right? And
Yeah.
and when you get a reaction, it's like already a win. Sometimes you may not get the kill, and that's like what separates like some of the tier 2 and tier 1 teams where they're just like able to poke and effectively get away or get like a fast kill and kind of get out rather than like overextending.
At the moment, Quincy really taking most of the real estate on the map, feeling confident, forcing business around the map and knowing where they are. As they get back to mostly around this mid lane, they now smoke, they go on the move. They've had a Phoenix Egg that they want to use. They've had Mojo's Book, and now Primal Roar. Brax is there as the frontline defender, being as tanky as he is, but possible bait for business. They don't have Moo here yet, but now goes the Roar. He could decide to TP in or go on the top lane. They're going to go ahead and finish off Brax before he can even get the Dragon Form off, or he didn't have Dragon Form actually, for another 10 seconds. Yawar chaining down 9. 9 forced to run on back. Phoenix going to commit the egg here. Fear tries to get close with Moose with the Shredder. That's all she wrote. Quick takedown of the egg. Cookie follow-up, and both supports going to be hitting the deck there. Chains from Yawar on the low ground with the Remnant. Oh, not quite enough to get the snipe on the Moose. Even the Boar going to be taken down there. Barely able to hold on. He tried to go back in to get that snipe. Oh, that damn granny. She survived.
He was almost in the animation of the slight and the clutch silence by Moo there.
Yeah. Wow.
But I mean, did Brex die? Yeah, Brex died, and in return, it's like I think they should have waited a little bit with the Grandma ult, with the Mortimer's Kisses, with Storm jumping in, because Sniper should have died there. It's like you always feel better, even though 2 supports died, they wasted egg and everything. It's like you want to prioritize these like core kills, right? We kind of used it when DK kind of got jumped. And we should have just been a little bit more patient and synergized with the Storm Spirit, and like using your spells together and like kind of communicating what's going on in the team fights. Bottom lane here, round 2.
Yeah, Brax just got back. He does have his ulti now. So tanky. Can they actually snipe him under his own tower? No.
So these plays here, like what Chaos is doing, like they don't even have roar. This purpose is like it was very obvious what they want to do. It's like they want to keep poking and poking until they get a reactionary TP. And you see the moment they see this TP, they immediately just back off. And it's already like a win in their book, knowing like, hey, this guy reacted. Now they're stuck down here.
Yeah, we'll have to see what Quincy Crew, I guess, do with that bit of information. They know Fear's down there, but the other 3 are still scattered across the map. They will see Moose in the top lane. Quincy's still valuing pressure down here.
So to put in consideration of their last play, now it gives them an opening to play on the other side of the map or continue playing bottom, knowing like the CM can no longer TP towards bottom lane, and either he's down here or he has to like run, and it feels awkward for him.
They do have a ward on that high ground, so they see.
Nice ward right here.
Yeah, they see them right here, and look, they spot out Yawar right within the trees, and they should be able to silence and burst them down immediately. Trouble for Quincy Crew. They might lose another. Biver also going to get locked in.
That was from the mango tree, right? I think they had a mango tree there.
On the...
Where they just initiate on the Ember. I saw one earlier.
Oh, in the trees? Yeah, because I don't think they saw him while he was inside the tree bush, but they saw him go in there.
Yeah, Fear used Bite on him somehow, right? He used it from like Fog. So, which was and then when the Snapfire jumped in with the cookie, then he broke down the mango tree.
Fair enough.
It was worth it.
All right, now Dragon Form committed here from the BA side, but Quincy Crew comes strutting down this mid lane. They've got the book out, book 2. And they take to the high ground, and we'll look to take over business turf here and circle around the Roche pit.
They don't really have the greatest save until Phoenix finishes. Oh, here, Roar.
Roar shot, burn onto Brax. Knowing he has no more Dragon Form, it does force out the Mortimer's Kiss.
I think Moose just needs to be a little bit more patient on how he uses it, because he's getting roared and it just feels like reactionary to zone him out with the kisses. I'd rather like we just get one stun, or like the Storm jumping in with the Mortimer's Kisses. Someone will die. And this is how they should be orchestrating their team fights. Whether it's gonna be a DK jumping in with his blink dagger once he finishes it, or like hey like communicating with Storm like hey let's just jump the sniper because they have no save and the sniper does a ton of damage right now in the team fights, but he only has what a measly 1100 HP.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, Sniper definitely very frail in this one.
Radiant's middle tower
As that
is
BKB
under
queued
attack.
up, Maelstrom will
Dire's
help get him there.
structures are fortified.
As he'll take his time to solo farm up the rest of his team.
Radiant structures
Back here
are
on bottom.
fortified. Dire's top tower is under
Lots of
attack.
wards all through the mid lane and where pretty much Moo is walking through.
Radiant's bottom tower.
They'll get the finish on the tier 2 though. It will be a tier 2 for tier 2. 9 takes one top, and we'll see if he wants to keep forcing in the lane to try to pull out Quincy crew from the dark.
Over here now.
Dire's top tower.
They're smoked. They're heading all the way across the river, all the way up. Oh, and they might catch Moo close by for the regen rune. Decides not to pick it up. MSS. Is he going to commit all the way? The silence. The cookie.
A nice silence.
Dragon form already out. Now 9 jumping in. Gets roared up immediately. And the egg. And 9 is gone. Fear to follow. Quinn just shoots down and finishes off the Snapfire. And just like that, Business lose 3. They're going to go for Brax too. They catch him with the shot. The chains. He'll go for the TP, but SVG's got him. And now I assume they could step back and go for the Roche if they'd like. They don't have a real strong Roche lineup right now.
They do because of Beast, but he doesn't have his book up, so that makes it slows it quite a lot.
He's got that book 3 now. But, you know, breaking out in that kind of fight, 9 tried to make the call to go in, but obviously MSS reserving that ult. They managed to just burst him down before there could be an answer. Oh, freeze. SVG. Got to be a little careful. Backs out. Now it's Moo who's got to be careful. But he only has the Yules. He uses it. The kisses come out. Try to create some space. And the cookie. Moose throws himself into the enemy team, trying to slow them down. And they'll take Fear too. Both supports going to be going down for the safety of Moo on this one.
It's really weird how these engagements are kind of going in right now. The engagements that when Business are winning the team fights is when they go on this DK, and when DK is like kind of frontlining. But when anyone else in this team frontlines or jumps ahead, and they just automatically lose the fight because they need spells to be used onto this DK. And if they don't use spells on DK, he's gonna get all his spells off, and they're gonna be taking all this damage. But instead, like they're getting all these spells off on this Storm, on this DP, on these supports, and they don't feel good about it because they will just die in comparison.
Now, is that partially because DK has not been able to yet have this Blink Dagger, jump in and pose himself as a bit of a threat, therefore getting all the spells dumped onto him? It seems like
it's a combination of like you should respect that he was farming in your safely in your jungle and don't make an aggressive play. And on top of that, like they can't really make too aggressive of a play until like this DK gets his Blink Dagger, so he can actually frontline more effectively.
Let the fun begin.
Oh, they are peeping around for 9 here.
Radiant's top
Oh,
tower is under
gotta be
attack.
careful. There is a roar, but he
Dire's
gets the
bottom
TP
tower is under attack.
and the jump. And Quincy will continue to parade through that top
Radiant's
lane.
top
Moo
tower is under
scores
attack.
back the outpost at the bottom. I believe they may have missed out on that outpost XP. If you didn't have that outpost, I think they didn't have top either.
Radiant's
Yeah.
top
Now they
tower
lose a
is
tier 1
fallen.
top. So a lot going the way of Quincy here.
Yeah, War does finish up when we talked about it. His Vessel now, which is really good versus both 2 cores on the Business side, which is DP and DK.
Yep. And
Nice
the nice
aura.
thing with the new Spirit Vessel is he doesn't have to decide between one or the
Dire's
other
bottom tower
to,
is
hit the
under
effect
attack.
with. He'll at least have that little bit of power from the aura and then can commit fully with the Spirit Charge itself. Your smoke movement from Quincy's side as they want to shift all the way down to the bottom half of the map.
Little do they know, everyone from Business already left the area.
Yeah.
They're making sure they have a nice hawk, and they're like, hey, no one's here. Let's just go back on where our vision is at. We have this area heavily dewarded. Let's just play around a vision and play around like Roshan. Oh, to pick up a nice DD as well.
How convenient. Oh, no.
I thought they'd give that to Quinn. Quinn's finishing up his BKB now as well.
Yeah, just one component away from grabbing it here. Just a little more time. We'll be given the time though as we see business smoke up. Not dare go through the north where all that vision is.
As you can see, DK is like they were trying to smoke, and you see DK just running ahead. This is what they need to do. They need to bait this hero and like letting him initiate for the team, and providing all this information so the Storm can jump in more effectively instead of him jumping in blindly.
What would be the Storm's best target? Like, let's say the DK is able to field the Wrath.
Sniper.
Sniper?
It's sniper.
Right to Sniper.
He's only like 1200 HP, and you need to kill him at least once before he finishes up BKB, but he does finish it off in like 3 gold there, so.
And as you mentioned before, for the time being, Quincy don't have an answer for that and how to quickly bail him out. You know, it could be Biver if he manages to build up into an Agnums later on, but as we see now is going for the Yules. That could actually be pretty useful to at least slow down the Storm until the Storm has his own defensive option. So this is a good window for business if they can get that ideal fight. Here's Brax out in front. He jumps in. He's going to be the one to take the damage. Kisses to follow. The long jump from Storm. He goes right for the Phoenix to see if he can get rid of the egg, but not successful. The egg will be committed, but now it's far and back away. Moose rolling through with the Prophet. Gets off a couple of soul siphons, but oh no. Just gets evaporated there. Quinn is just going off from those back lines. You know, if they're jumping for the Phoenix, he's going to be still waiting in the pocket to dish out the damage. You can see 9 already trying to just put the pressure back at that top lane, and Quincy will now turn the corner and go into the pit.
Yeah, that fight was a bit more favorable for Quincy because they had 2 high ground advantages. They had like the soft high ground, which was the river one, and the other high ground by their outpost. And it's like fighting at a choke, like small little choke point like that, it very benefits this Phoenix way too much. And it was like way too hard for like this is to kind of just go in blindly. They didn't really have like control or vision around that area. And because of that, you know, they're going to continue their snowball now. And I think it's like very crucial how they really engage on their next team fight. I think with the Sniper having BKB and Aegis now, business should focus on killing the 2 supports from Quincy's side. Because you have to think about like who's the most vulnerable targets in the fights, and it's definitely the supports. Phoenix has so much HP. I didn't know he had that much. Level 12, he has 1500. He's building his defensive item as well.
And it's not even as a talent or any serious life items too. So just naturally got the gains, I guess.
The smoke play, they identified that they're taking the outpost bottom, so they're going to outnumber them and try to find some free kills here.
Fear leading out the front though gets spotted and just chained up. Not going to be able to get the catch quite on anybody, and by that point Quincy is already rendezvoused. They're all back together.
It's unfortunate. Like, I think they had vision of the Ember. I think DK should have jumped him, but I'm not 100% sure. Otherwise, Fear should have dropped an OBS the moment that
9 jumps once, but doesn't jump the second time. I don't think they have an immediate catch. Oh my god, SVG just able to walk up and gaze him. 9, you know, unfortunately, I think he just underestimated the range of the gaze or something.
It's a EU ping.
Okay, fair enough. We'll let him have that, John.
John.
That's what they say in Smash, I guess, for excuses.
Okay.
The Johns.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah. Oh, man, unfortunate. You know, season.
Walk up gaze.
He just walks up and says, "Hey, you, come over here." Holds it for the rest of the team. It does have buyback, but it just seems to be costing them the tier 2. As you see that Necro book just start chapping away.
It's a nice item for a sniper that he just picked up the sliver. His business has so much magic damage.
Yeah.
And with that and the status resistance.
They even managed to jump across and get a hold of the little man. Yeah, he'll be able to resist the pull. He's got the extra life pull already from his BKB. And now move speed, you know, having the Hyperstone in his back pocket. Look at him just pepper away at the tower. It's moves on business to get inside. Not going to be easy with the shrapnel there right in the middle. He can't quite jump to the back. Pops his hood.
DK just melts once the vessel's on top of him.
Yeah. Glyph for the tier 3. I'm sure Quincy really want to get that tower. Yeah, there they go.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
I think they can keep going because they saw that Snapfire TP'd out. Same time, just secure their high ground right now. Be a little patient.
No
They
dragon
still have
form.
what, 2 minutes on their Aegis.
Oh yeah, they definitely have some time. Only a few more moments here on this dragon form.
Are scanning.
And here goes Quinn. Leap in from Yawar, chaining down the DK, but the cookie already going to be there from Moose. 9 leaping in.
Oh.
Leap back, almost got gazed again. Careful. Oh. Couple of shots onto Fear, and he gets blasted. And we'll have to buy back. Now onto the racks. The Sniper and the Necrobook doing so much work. Jumping from Brax, Dragon Tail, pull. But he's got the Ice Armor. Another jump in, and it's going to be enough, but only for the Aegis. Can they somehow do it again? Mortimer Kisses begin to fly out, but Business on the back pedal, trying to make it into the safety of their fountain, while the rest of Quincy put their focus onto the racks. The buyback does come out from Moose, and it looks like they want to step off. Consider that a big win, but now it's Quincy who could be caught out. Oh no, look, Quinn turning it around, has his BKB, and just shoots down Brax. Brax is out. Does have a buyback.
Wow, this DK just melts once the vessel's on top of him. It's insane. That was just... Yeah, they got a buyback. This is like the beauty of like understanding, like, you know, when people buy back in front of their base, they're always desperate for a kill, and if they don't get anything out of it, it's very like demoralizing, and it feels so bad. It's like you want to make these desperation plays now, and you know you really can't because of the high cooldown that DP has. They're playing very smart, you know. Like I said, the moment he just bought back, they all got out. Despite they lost his Aegis too, right? Or did
Yeah, Aegis is gone.
So they have Phoenix Egg.
Is there any reason why they can't just go for another push while the Exorcism's down?
I think they're looking into it right now. They're just making sure, because it's like with the buyback, it's like maybe businesses throwing something cheesy or doing something desperate here, but they're just camping on their high grounds, camping on their wards, and making sure, you know, they're playing it safe.
Let's see Storm bottom, quickly blast through the wave, and then TP back. I imagine he'll probably maybe consider flying from the fountain. Oh, nope, there's not even a wave there.
Look at the wards that Quincy has right now. They have both high grounds warded, and so they're basically choking business completely in their base, and they're unable to like leave. And the moment they do leave, they're gonna just like die.
Yeah.
Unless they smoke out. Which I don't think they have anymore.
They have that little bit of vision here for business, and they're going to spot that they are together. Although Necrobook will see that ward, but it gives them that just a bit of heads up that top might be free. So get top farm while you can.
Yeah, they showed everyone bottom with the outpost. They were like 2 seconds too late there from Quincy, so they gave a little free XP to business, unfortunately. BKB is finished on Ember. That just makes him super strong. His contribution in team fights has been amplified. I think they just don't want to take any risk into going this high ground just yet, unless they take like a favorable fight, which is like high ground around their vision. Otherwise, they don't want to just take this random engagement, going high ground, and just throwing the game.
Yeah.
So they're thinking of like, there are two things: playing around Roche, wait for Roche, or play in an area where we're gonna be favorable.
Double damage.
And business is gonna
A little bit of
hog
both. You know, play around their vision near the Roche pit and wait for it to come back up.
Yeah, they're hogging the tree line on the left here, and they're gonna potentially make a play. If someone shows mid, they're gonna be able to jump on this high ground on the right side and hopefully killing.
They'll see
hoping to kill
Mojo
this
there.
sniper.
They go a long way, all the way up north here.
Oh, I thought they were gonna just
Bank right and then cut him off. Yeah, but they see Moo top. They ping it. They head the direction. They have the ward on the high ground. They should see them coming.
Damn, Quinn is like, he's alone, actually. Yeah, but... That would have been crazy if business were like, hey, this guy, just go in this guy, and they're like, oh wait, he's actually alone. It's a free kill.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they didn't see what they wanted out of that smoke gank. And we'll have to pull back to the base for the meantime. And it looks like Roche is going to be up possibly soon. May respawn in 10 seconds. We'll have to see how forgiving or not the timer is.
Let's see. Early spawn.
Ooh, that's always fun. Snapfire completes her Ags, Demon, so maybe they
Oh,
could
you
just
throw that DK in there.
throw the DK. If he can't find the blink, just go throw him in there and say, good luck with the vessel.
Oh, no, throw the storm in there with Ags. That's actually insane.
Throw the storm in with Ags. What?
No, when Storm finishes his Ags too.
Oh, okay.
They can pull, sorry. I mean, he doesn't really need to, but it's just like, it look cool.
Style points, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, if you're going to go out with some style points at least.
Oh, no, I got it. Okay. Throw the CM in there. He throws his
Oh.
freezing field, and then Storm jumps in to do the electric vortex, because it stuns him for like 1.5 seconds.
All right. I like it. Man, I wish Fear had at least like a glimmer or something so that if the freezing field goes off, he has a little bit of time to try to hide or be defensive, but I guess he just better hope that he gets chucked into a safe spot somewhere.
So, they lost their ward on top. They think they just want to play for Roche, because if they take a random fight and they somehow lose the fight without buybacks, then business gets a Roshan, and they don't want to do that. They don't want to give that to
No,
9 is actually 400 away from his Ag. This actually can be really key. This is like a very game-changing item for both Moose and I'm not sure about Moose because I haven't seen it too much, but for sure the Aghanims on Storm is very game-changing.
Yeah. And we do have BKBs on the cores of Quincy, but if they're not ready for that, it could definitely catch them off guard and get them locked in to a situation that they're not going to be comfortable with. As they head up north, we'll see Storm. He's TP'd though, and he dips out. Business just buying out their time here, pushing their lanes on the side.
Biver understands. Yeah, they're trying to make a fast play here on top between the DK and the Snapfire. With this vision, they know that they can't place any more high ground wards because of free Roshan here by Quincy.
Cheese. Looks like both take it. No, Yawar grabs the cheese. Quinn takes the Aegis.
I don't really see how Quinn can die anymore with this. Obviously Aegis, and on top of that his Satanic.
Yeah. And that's going to be a full Satanic. No sort of takedown of the healing amplification at all. And, you know, he's got so much backline assistance that it is a lot of pressure on business to find the opening, whether it's jumping in trying to clear out the supports. Well, they found an opening on Quinn. He has the BKB. Oh, but oh my god, he pops everything and just takes it back, blows up Fear. Drax could be next. Oh, big Axe though does come in and move from the high ground, gets some pretty good damage. They do manage to finish off SVG, but not enough firepower. Yawar comes busting into the base, taking it to move, forcing him back. The buyback forced out. It
would have been so beautiful. Like they actually did everything I kind of mentioned, except Storm was not there yet to pull him with the Ag.
Jumps back in with that Ag's pull, but you know, Quinn still holds strong. Doesn't have BKB yet, but still holds now the Satanic ready to go and an an Aegis.
Gobble gobble.
He's just poking away at the tier 3.
No more glyph now.
No more glyph. They still have the Phoenix Egg too. There's the roar. Jump in from 9. Jump back. Oh, and possible trouble from Moo. He's got a self-Yules. Very low. Chained up. Finished off. Has the buyback. Uses it right away. Brax does not have the buyback. That's his dieback there. And now Chaos looking to go for their final set potentially. Jump in, the pull, the silence, the exorcism. This is everything that business could do to try to hold the line, but they will lose Moo again, and I think that's going to be game. It is. Our first playoff match is going to go in favor of Quincy Crew, who will advance into the next round. Business put up a good fight, taking it to game 3, but it looks like they will have to square off against Thunder Predator in the lower bracket now.
Oh, that's a nice rematch between Business and Thunder Predator due to unfortunate games in group stage, I believe. But yeah, I think just Quincy just played a very methodical kind of game. I think they understood the strengths of their lineup, and especially kind of shook off their loss. Um, I think they just played very like it was just very organized how they did it and their execution. Business played little. They were just very inconsistent in terms of like having structure and like what they essentially needed to do. In this game, they took a lot of like random fights without having like their DK in the front line or like playing around without their vision and just running up high ground completely blind. And that really just hurt their game because when it came down to early game, like they were very strong, right? Storm was like very fat.
Yeah.
DK destroyed his lane. They kicked him out of his lane, and it's just like kind of like the movements that Quincy really made in the mid game that outmaneuvered business entirely there. So.
Yeah, I mean, the nice thing is it didn't feel like with a lot of our other games that we were in these situations where it was just a clear outdraft or anything like that. I felt like both teams put themselves in positions where they knew what they needed to get done or what their win conditions were rather to, walk away with the dub. But it, became what the execution, as you were mentioning, who was able to kind of get that first jump in, able to just fire off on all cylinders and pull it away. Because in this game, MSS farming as he pleases, at least with the run back on the bottom lane. Brax got his top lane, but when it became who had to be in front and who had to be in back, things kind of worked out a bit differently. Now, not on the end of the road, obviously, for Business Associates as double elimination. They'll face Thunder Predator at a future date, maybe even tomorrow. I'm not sure exactly the schedule for tomorrow, but not done yet today. Don't worry, Demon. Plenty more exciting Dota to come. As we can see, we will have Evil Geniuses going against Team Crazy next. That should be a very hype matchup. Any early thoughts on that series before we return into the draft?
No, that's actually really hype. I'm looking forward to watching EG comment or casting Bulba's games. That's always an honor.
Yeah, I know.
But Crazy's been looking very hot lately, and like they barely lost their game versus Quincy Crew, I believe, and it was still very close games. And I think they actually might even look better than EG right now, unless they change their strategy and what they've been doing entirely. But doing so far, they've been doing pretty well. So. Yeah, I mean, it's I think it's going to be a close game. It's going to be a 2-1 series. I don't know who's going to come out on top yet, but I think it's going to be a great game regardless.
I'm excited about it as well. I did receive word we may have an interview, possibly. They're seeing if they can grab somebody from the Quincy Crew side. It might be Mojo, but I need him to join this room first. I don't even know if he's in this Discord, so I'm kind of chatting with the admin right now. To see if we can get him over into the Discord. So prep your questions. I know I already have one. I'm very eager to hear his thoughts about playing Chen.
Yeah, me too.
We'll see if that's coming. In the meantime, I can show everybody the updated bracket now. And as you can see, Quincy Crew getting that 2-1 win. I actually could probably update this further and put them into the next round. Give me a moment. So that puts Quincy Crew there. That will move business down over here. There we go. I got it all updated for you. All right. There you go, everybody. Check out the updated bracket. And hold on. Check in. MSS, how's this work? Okay. Join voice channel. All right, here he is. I'll bring him in. All right, hello. Mojo Stormstout joining us as a winner's interview. I've dragged you inside, and congratulations on your series, taking down Business Associates in the first round of this prestigious Beyond the Summit Pro Series tournament. We have some questions we want to ask you. Game number 1, you got to play a Chen. You got off-lane Chen. How was that experience? Tell me about playing Chen, Mojo.
It's pretty fun. I mean, honestly, the real fun, where it got super exciting, was like past the 50-minute mark.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's where like the peak fun is at, because then you're doing like, especially when your racks are down, like, because you get those range creeps, and you have like the level 20 talent. These range creeps are literally monsters.
You seriously had like a posse of like 10
No, I had the squad.
range crews. It was like the protest was like out and just taking the racks on the side.
Nah, it was some EE shit, bro. Like, we're 2 racks down, but you're only making me stronger.
Was it frustrating to go against Mirana and trying to micro around those ridiculous arrows?
I was surprisingly getting like more frustrated than I thought I don't know, cause like for some reason like I felt like he had a ward or some shit because the arrows he was throwing out was insane. I don't know if he actually did one. Like if he actually had a ward because I didn't check the replay.
No, he didn't.
This guy's just a monster. Then he's just
Yeah.
a monster.
Well, my final question about the Chen was: would you play it again? Was that something you would want to experience another time? Because not many people pulling out the offlane Chen. Is that something?
Yeah,
that we should
I
cheer?
mean, I played it a couple times. So,
Okay.
I mean,
Damn.
I'm down to play it
All right.
anytime.
Be looking out for it. Go ahead.
I got one question here. So Mojo, like when it comes to, it was just like game one was like super hyped, all right? So it was like 80, almost a 2 hour, 80-minute game or something.
Yeah, it was 8 minutes.
I'm curious to see like who like in these butt clenching moments, like who makes these like calls, because there's a point where like business was pushing your tier 2 on top after you guys are like 2 racks down, and you guys were at a stalemate for a while. You're camping high ground, they're camping the left side, and you don't want to run into them, they don't want to run into you. Like who's making these calls to like, because you guys end up pushing mid lane with your creeps, and then Yoar's pushing in mid, and that ended up dictating the game and who won. I don't know if you recall that moment.
I mean, I remember that moment. I mean, that specific moment, it was like, I mean, usually in-game calls is like a combination of people, but most of the time it's like me and Quinn combined. I mean, in that specific scenario, I was calling like, I have creeps mid. We should go like fuck with them top. So I mean, I guess in that situation, it was me, I guess.
Yeah, it was just overall collectively, but I was pointing out a moment as well. So
Yeah. But in general, it's me and Quinn. You are usually like the talkers of this.
okay.
Awesome. Next up is going to be Crazy versus Evil Geniuses. You guys obviously selected to play against Business Associates in the first round. Do you have a preference on who you hope to face in the next round? Or who's going to take the next series? You think Crazy are going to run it back again and take EG down?
I mean, Crazy's on. They're kind of on a streak. They're on fire right now. Like they seem to figure.
Sorry,
I mean, even versus us, they played like a lot better than they did before.
Yeah.
I mean, they kind of like figured out how they want to play Dota, it seems, and they're just like riding it out. I mean, the way they play Dota is very, very, very annoying. I would say, if I were to like explain it, describe it. But I don't know. It's hard to say. Maybe EG shows up. They come back.
Awesome.
They figured their shit out. And I honestly don't know who we're going to play.
Like everyone, I feel like, is trying to figure their shit out, whether it be lag or stand-ins or what have you. It's a bunch of people trying to figure out what the hell's happening.
A patch just happened, so
that's true. That too. Actually, since you brought that up, I'm curious. It's only been like 2 days since this new patch. Is there anything that you're kind of drawing from it already? Like a hero that you were playing that has been hit too hard?
I have no clue, dude. I have no idea. I'm just losing on my pubs. I have
Figuring
no idea
it out as you go.
I actually have no idea what's happening.
All right.
I just feel poor, dude. I'm so broke. I need some spare change.
All right. Consider a Midas, I guess, or something for your future. But thank you so much, man. I appreciate you taking the time to come in here and chat with us. So best of luck.
Win.
Yeah, congrats. And
Thank
we'll
you.
see you in the next round against the winner of our next series.
All right, see you then.
Later. Kick him out of here. All right, thank you. I don't know if he was going to leave fast enough. I'm just going to get him out so we could talk about him. Thanks, Mojo. Send him some love. Go hit him up on the Twitter and hearts for him. But as I said, we're not done yet. We probably should be getting over and into the lobby for our next series to come, which is Evil Geniuses versus Crazy. So sit tight, everybody. More Beyond the Summit Pro Series action coming your way.